slavery and encourage us because
Yeah.
especially when they're like I like when older men, look at us young men and just like, yo, you guys are doing a great job and,
Hmm.
continue doing what you're doing. Or like even experienced people like in the internet technology world or in the politics world or realm, which
Yeah.
is what we're doing, are looking at us and noticing what we're doing. It's
Yo,
very encouraging, bro.
it's very encouraging. It's because why, man? It's like what we said from the beginning. We just staying consistent. We having fun with it, and this process is a slow grind with YouTube, right?
Hmm.
Like a lot of
Hmm.
these creators take a while to even get traction, momentum, and it's all part of the game. Mike, what's up, Mike? Thanks
Oh,
for
we got Mike. Mike
man,
came through. All
Professor Mike
right.
is my man is ripped though. You see Mike, he
Yeah,
not
yeah.
low. We know
He
he not
likes to
low.
show off.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
show off kind of
yeah.
guy,
I would too. I would too, man. But yeah, thank y'all for supporting. Somebody said thank you so much for speaking and sharing the truth.
Travis,
And
Travis is in the house. The
Travis in the
milkman.
house.
I'm gonna.
We got a handful of people already here. What's up, Derek?
Harlan is
Appreciate you.
here.
I see
Oh,
you on
shout out to a new
TikTok.
guest.
I
Shout
see you
out
on
to a new
TikTok
guest. Let's
subscribing.
shout
Got
him out real
7
quick.
people that subscribe. I
Derek,
appreciate you
thanks for
and y'all
joining.
joining.
Thanks for coming, Derek.
Yo,
We're gonna
Derek,
shout you
thank you for
out,
coming, brother.
Professor Mike. We already know Professor Mike though, but we'll
But we
give him
gotta
a
show
shout
that he's
out.
ripped. We gotta
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. My man is Mr.
What's up, Amber?
Judge Dredd over there. Judge Dredd.
Amber, thanks for joining. Thanks for
Shout out to
joining.
Amber. Thank you for joining, Amber. Thanks for the support, guys. You guys
Down on
are.
TikTok, appreciate you.
We won't be here without y'all. We need
We
y'all.
won't.
All right. What else we have? Yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about this discussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, one
Um,
more time. We are live right now on a YouTube channel, so I'm only here for the next 5 minutes. I saw a few people
come
popping
get your
in.
shout out, y'all. Come
Come
get your
get it
shout
right
out.
here. Come get your shout out. We're putting all the comments up, and we're talking about Joe Rogan and cancel culture. Thanks for joining. Link in my bio.
All right, we rolling.
We rolling. We rolling.
Let's see. Give it another moment to see if somebody comes on in and shares. Amber, yes. Derek, yes. We got that. Travis, the milkman, is here. The
If
milkman who
if
live on
any
Drury
moderators,
Lane.
if any other moderators on my TikTok, just tell people we're
Always
up
our
on the
gem.
YouTube.
Always our gem right here.
Oh yeah,
Felicia and Nick.
Felicia,
And Nick
super
too.
shout
And
out.
Nick. Nick
Oh,
watches us
Keisha
too.
is in the building though. That's what
Who's
I just
Keisha?
read.
Oh, we got a star here, y'all. We got
a
somebody
squad.
got floor seats to our show. Pay good money to come floor seats.
Come on,
She's
man.
like, yeah, I'm sitting center court. I'm here.
What up?
She,
What up? Oh,
she
Luna,
got the
another
long
one. What
she got
up?
the long trench coat on.
Hello,
She's like,
hello,
yeah,
hello,
I'm here.
Luna.
Keisha's in the building. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
we out here.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do what we do, Savory.
Let's kick this off. Let's have some fun. Appreciate everybody
All right.
joining. Showtime. Let's do this.
Let's start with our first graphic here.
Bimbos, they all want to get married, though. That's the problem with dating bimbos. It's like the mecca for bimbos is marriage, right? It's the promised land. Right? It's so true. I can't even hear the word marriage. It comes out of a girl's mouth, my brain just shuts off. It's like, marriage, click. Every word after marriage is...
That's still right. Joe himself.
Oh man, the comedians. The
Yo, Macho,
comedians.
What year was that?
That was in 1994, fam.
Wow.
Yeah.
My man's been doing it for a minute, bro.
He's been out here.
He's really been out here. Wow.
Yeah.
That takes some, like, when you think about his consistency and what he's doing, it takes some, like, hard work to really do that. You got to be like, he's been on this for a while. We're talking about
And the 90s was pretty tough. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You had a stellar cast in the 90s.
Mhm.
You had the kings of comedy. So if you went up there and wet the bed, you wouldn't be here. There would be no Joe Rogan if he didn't survive the trenches of the 90s. Honestly, let's keep it.
You know what I'm gonna say to that? I'm gonna say that's 1,000% right. You getting ahead of our segment, because that's what I would say. You keeping it 100, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's play this quick intro and get to what we need to get to. So here we are. Joe Rogan, cancel culture. And you know, let me take it back really quick to what you said. 1994, not only was it it was a kind of a beast of a culture, but it was a very different culture where a lot more kind of different speech was accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like people were saying wow stuff in the 90s. Like,
Oh, it was
yo,
the Wild Wild West
it
of the
was.
comedy. I wanted to give a shout out here. I don't know. I did not know Lunatic was girl bye.
Oh, girl, bye. What up?
Wow, girl bye. What's
What
going
up? What up?
on?
What up? She's out here.
She's out
Appreciate
here.
you joining, man. You know?
Thank you for joining. But yeah, let's keep it rolling. Sorry, I just had to give a shout out.
Nah. We trying to shout out
She
all these
always
people who are
watches
coming in
us.
on YouTube. We
Thanks.
also live on Twitch, but we more focus on our YouTube right now. So that's a
But
lot.
yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I'm Macho, that's Savory, and we're your two liberty loving Latinos right here on Drinks with a Nobody. And today we're covering Joe Rogan and cancel culture, obviously. So
Yep. We get into that. Yo, Mach, I got a question for you, man. As
what's
we
that?
kick this off, man. How do I even word this, man? But did you know what cancel culture even was growing up? Don't answer that yet, because we going to get into it. Yeah, cancel culture. You even know what that was, man?
No, what was that?
You heard that word before?
I grew up around hip hop. So like, if your song was whack, you got canceled, or if you couldn't
Yo,
handle a hip hop beat or like a battle, then we'll
but
never see
again,
you
you weren't
again.
really
Sayonara.
canceled. You were just challenged right away. The people spoke. Nobody pressured you to cancel. It was just more like, yo, that's trash. On to the
Yeah.
next. You know, it was more of the culture. Now you got a mob of people calling to cancel to end someone's career.
If anybody I know got canceled, it had to be Jay-Z and who's that see he was canceled somewhere like I forgot. Um what was it? Nas. Nas got canceled. If anybody got canceled, it was
Oh, no.
Nas. That was and again, I grew up in the hood, so we knew about hood beef, we knew about rap beef, all that stuff. If anybody got canceled, the first person I ever knew to get canceled was Nas. Then it was Ja Rule. Ja Rule got smoked by
Yeah,
50
but
Cent.
again, it was no pressure. It was what I call a grassroots cancellation. Feel me?
It
It,
was because you
it,
couldn't
it
stand
was
up to it.
it
You
was
couldn't stand the
organic.
test
We
of time.
canceled
Yeah.
you not because you said something. It's like, yo, we not feeling that. The community actually spoke. Here, it's not the community speaking, bro. It's like it's so coordinated to end someone's livelihood and career. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different ballgame. The way we
Yeah.
did it was more like, it's part of life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody could, if a few people don't like our show, they can just be like, I'm not feeling this or whatever it might be. But you're not gonna call on the other organization to be like, oh, shut these people down. That's a different kind of. And this is some of my thoughts here. Check this. Have you ever seen this chart?
No. What
This
is
is
this?
Quarter 3 2021 media ratings.
Ooh, my man smoked them.
Look at
Ooh.
this. This is average listeners per episode, bro.
Wait.
Per
What?
episode.
Wow.
Viewers per show in the
Wow.
millions. So we're talking about these shows that are on national TV. Look at CNN, less than a million. Then you got MSNBC. You keep going up. You got Hannity, the 5, and then Tucker Carlson.
Wait a
Judging them
minute.
at little over
CNN's
3.
at the bottom?
CNN is at the prime.
Trash.
Their
Get
prime
rid of them.
time. Prime time for you.
Yo, what is going on? Even Hannity is doing better. Yo, I could only take Hannity in doses.
Yeah. Because he's
And he's
extremely
doing better
biased
than
too. Like I
CNN.
say, but yeah, it's like CNN is just is different. But look, Carson, we're talking about the mainstream media. Joe Rogan has about 4 times, close to 4 times as much,
Wow.
almost 4 times much as the most. Man, this is mainstream media. They're in front of millions of eyes. People are googling and looking for Joe Rogan on Spotify. Again, so
Wow.
why do I mention this to start? That you got to think about what's really happening. That's what I think to myself. Like, yo, what the heck is really happening? They mad, bro. I would be mad too. Look at this. They're taking a lot of viewership. He's becoming a stronger voice in our social media and stuff like that. But let's get into why Joe Rogan got canceled, right? Let's get into the events that actually unfolded to get him canceled, right? So let's start off with that so people can know what Joe Rogan actually said, right? And where we at, right? So let's
Let's
get to
see.
this. So this is one clip here, right? This is Joe Rogan way back. This is like 2004, right? Early 2000s from what I saw. Right, so let's play this right quick.
And it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English.
Can you hear the volume?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Cool. The video's not playing, but we'll play the volume. Just
good.
hear it here. You ready?
He takes us there. We get out and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door and there was.
So he said we walked into Planet of the Apes. All right. So hearing that, do you think of racism right away? You laughing already. So is it that people can't take a joke? Is it that the word racism is so sensitive? Like what is it? Talk to me, Macho. What is it? Because nobody had a problem 15 years ago. 15 years later, we have a big problem now.
Well, it just adds to the narrative that our society is systemically racist. You see what I'm saying? They're smart. They know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, for me and you, listen. It's comical to me. Like he said, we literally walked into the Planet of the Apes. Like, you have to take yourself, when it comes to racism, you have to take yourself that serious to the point where, like, you're gonna be taking offense to things that people say. Really?
Yo, Macho, what's the
Before
first
people
video
had
you
to,
played?
no, I want you to hear this. Before you had to worry about what people did to you, now you're worried about what people say to you or say about you. It's like, I don't care. Like, you can say whatever the hell you want. We live in a free country. What happened to that?
Mike is making up a good point. What's the context? Let me ask you something, Macho. What's that first video you played? What was he doing? What was Joe doing in that first video you played?
He was doing a stand-up comedy session.
And that makes him a
comedian.
This is what's so crazy about this world. He's an actual comedian, right? It's not like he came out of nowhere. But again, this is how you know, because they're trying to hold him to these standards. A comedian who has tons of conversations with people, and people are mad at Rogan. This is my take, because he's bringing the two sides of the aisle. He's bringing them together. He gets labeled as a right wing, bro. There's nothing right wing about that man, and we'll get to that in a little while. Stay tuned for that. I'm gonna play a clip that shows you there's nothing right wing about the man. Let me show you the second clip that was circulating, right?
What are you?
Dad's black, mom's white. Standard issue, pretty much.
Powerful combination genetic wise, right? You get the body of the black man, and then you get the mind of the white man all together in some strange combination. That doesn't, by the way, mean that black people don't have brains. It's a different brain.
Right.
Don't get me. What are you?
Dad's black.
All right. Are we not supposed to laugh about? Are we not supposed to laugh about that, guys?
I actually thought that was very funny. That was absolutely funny. You can tell it's very satire. He's being an asshole. Let's just be like that on
he's
purpose.
Not attacking no one person, really. He's not. You got to think about what Joe Rogan is doing now. Like, Joe Rogan literally, right now, as we speak, when you look at his show, he's having honest conversations, which is what people love.
With a black person.
With different kind of black people, Hispanic people, white people, with all different ideas. That's what his show stands for. But now, again, we don't like what he's doing, right? And we're taking those clips from the past and making it a reality of what he stands for to tarnish his name. But again, nobody really had a problem until he became is becoming the Joe Rogan that's bothersome. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you got to think about that, because at the end of the day, what are we really doing here? Like, what are we talking about, right? People don't like to keep it real, right? People don't like to keep it real, but we keeping it 100. We giving it to y'all straight from what we see.
And let's talk about this. Let's talk just a quick little snippet here. We don't hold Dave Chappelle to this kind of scrutiny, right? And he talks about everything. He makes every kind of innuendo, every type of comparison. You want to get mad at Planet of the Apes. Dave Chappelle done gone further than that and back, right? Richard Pryor, all these guys, Bernie Mac, they all go that far. Because why? They're trying to bring down and ease the tension of society and say, guys, don't take yourself that serious. Chill the F out. Let's all just understand, yes, was this a problem in society? Of course, it was stupid. It was so stupid to the point that we're gonna make it a comedy skit. That's how stupid it was.
Mhm.
So now we laugh about it today of our yesterday's disparities, of our yesterday's
By the way,
problems.
on that point, Macho, a lot of and then this is fun history fact here. When we talk about history, comedy was a relief for many people being in oppressed regimes and oppressed countries, and comedians were actually banned. Right? You take that as you will. I'm not saying that's what they're doing here. Maybe, maybe not. But the point is, like, the part they're taking is all about speech. One, it's comedy, so you're making a fool out of yourself. But two, it's speech. So, like, it's a
Freedom of speech.
dangerous road to cross, man. And
Yeah.
let me play some for you. And I'm curious to know your take on this, and all the people watching right now. Please tell me what you think about this here.
Loaded transvestite Wonder Woman, ready to fight crime. Pew, 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 pew. I just can't get this shit off. Besides, Whoopi done wrote everything I'm going to say here tonight, so it's all right. Ain't that right, you smelly nigga? I didn't write that. Well, you is a smelly nigga. I got some more jokes for your New Year's Eve party there. You're not night, call alone, look up in sky and say, what the hell going on up there?
Global News has uncovered a third instance of racially charged images of Liberal leader Justin Trudeau.
We wanted to be very sure that this was, in fact, the Liberal leader before we made the video public.
Said, quote, we already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more than your big shots.
Where is it? Man, oh man, read this book. And guess what? Not a lot of black folks on the show.
See, when you play the game of let's cancel them, you gotta be careful because you might be the one on the chopping block.
First off, his reaction was hilarious. I just kept laughing at his face as he's just like, just like, wow. And you know, yo, peep the fact that he had freedom on a sweater, where insinuate like freedom of speech. Like, come on, let these guys speak, man. Let them live.
So think about this, Macho, right? What happened there, right? We knew, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get straight to it. We knew in context what was happening. We're talking about wrestling, we're talking about comedy skits. Justin Trudeau is the only one I don't know what that man was doing at that time. But other than that, the other ones were actual skits, right? And now you have words like cultural appropriation. You have words, racism means 30,000 things now, right? Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm considered white passing. Right,
on,
we're not dark enough to talk about black issues. Like, come on.
We didn't go through the race stuff. We don't got the lineage.
Oh my god,
we can't be racist. You know,
it's like we're at the schoolyard at the sandbox. Like, be nice, guys. Stop. Like,
yeah,
I'm just like, come on.
That's exactly what we do. Let's be careful now. Don't do that, Jimmy. Like, oh, what world are we going to?
It's not fair that he's doing what I'm doing. It's not fair. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really? Are we serious?
Yo, Macho, what's Joe Rogan political leaning? How do you describe Joe Rogan to us in your thoughts? No right answer here. Just curious. How would you describe Joe Rogan as far as like, yo, what's his? Somebody don't know Joe Rogan. Yo, what's his politics?
I never really understood what his politics were. Right?
Okay,
He
fair.
literally, for example, when I never really sat down to really watch him, but when I was watching like some of the Candace Owens clips, obviously she was on Joe Rogan Experience, and the way he like just honed in on that, climate change and like got her stuttering and got her like pitter pattering backwards, like I just realized that he's just a critical thinker. Like he just wants to question everything. He is the Socrates in society, not in terms of intellect, but he just wants to question everything. He just wants to ask questions, bro. Like, it's
You
simple.
see, so one, he's being labeled as right wing, and number two, if it's anything clear about his show, is what you said. The man just wants to have conversation. But let me surprise you and reveal some of his political ideology coming from his mouth in context in his show.
Certainly the caricature-ish media view that is out there.
That's right. So let's take a listen to Matt's video.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins. She's good. She's great. She's the wife of the best president that we have had in our lifetime. I've never voted right-wing in my life. I consider universal basic income a really good idea. I want free college education.
Oh, right wing over here. Wow.
I don't know, man. Maybe, hey, Macho, maybe the definition change of right wing. Maybe,
They have to.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have to. In
Maybe
order to cancel him, it's like when Mayor Bloomberg was running. He wanted to run. He ran for a third term, which is not. It's not. You can't do that in New York City, right? So he goes. He changes the rules just so he can get a third term. Then changes it back. It's all about fitting their narrative. It's all about their agenda. They need to change the rules of the game just so they can get rid of him. He's the op, and then now they can reinstate the rule again. No, no, no. Now we're free to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Macho, do me a favor. Let's keep listening to the right wing Joe Rogan. Tell
Take
me
it
what
easy.
you think.
Hello, Bernie.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie. That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking progressive.
Yeah. I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. I think he's looking out for the interests of the working people. And I think he wants people to have a better life and do better. And I'm all for that. And if that means I have to pay more in tax, like people think, oh, you're a socialist. I've heard people say that. Oh, you're a fucking socialist, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist.
Look,
He is a socialist.
Yeah,
but
he is
okay.
a socialist. I couldn't disagree more with Joe Rogan here. So, one, are they labeling it right wing? It never bothered me that he holds this view because we believe in free speech, and I believe Joe Rogan has some really bad ideas as well. I just love the people he brings on his show. let the man live. Anyways, let's wrap this section up with this.
Socialist. It's a different thing. I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor neighborhoods and throw a fuckload.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Macho and I could not disagree more with this man right here, because if y'all been tuning in with us as far as inner cities and the problems, we grew up in it, we talk about it. The issue is not money. And then look what he does. Sounds like a very left-wing guy right here. Check this out.
Spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit. 87% of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming.
Oh, he loves global warming.
Come on.
This guy,
Again,
he's
I'll
a
play
global
that.
warming activist over there.
Macho, let me tell you why I play that. It's not about exposing Joe. And I think Macho will be with me right here. We don't care really what he believes in every single issue.
I care about what I believe.
The man has a podcast who brings people that I disagree and agree with, and it's a beautiful thing. And if you have a problem with some of those things, then you have to really question about what you have a problem with. Is the people who disagree with you talking? Right? Because if it's misinformation, do you think you don't trust people enough to listen to this podcast, do their own research, and make their own decisions? We're grown adults here, right? So again, look at that. Right wing, he's being exposed, supposing it's crazy. It's a myth.
When we have this kind of collectivist ideology, you're trying to use the N-word, which is what, the N-word or the monkey analogy or whatever it is that they're trying to do to establish that our grievances should be the same. Look at how ignorant that is. That means what my offenses are, Savory, has to be yours. And what Keisha's offenses are has to be ours too. It's like that kind of collectivist ideology is why we have gang culture in America, why we even have political parties in America, which I'm not against.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's all a collectivist ideology or a sort of tribalism, right? What side you're on, because you're either on the side of George Wallace or MLK, right? It's always been perpetuating in our society. How about I'm on nobody's side but my side?
How about you share your thoughts? How about I share my thoughts? How about we just live? Macho, do you think anything should be canceled? Let me direct this question at you.
If it's illegal, yes.
Okay, but like what?
No, outside of that, no.
Yeah, so if somebody breaks the law, you're saying.
Yeah. If someone breaks the law, like child pornography, that's illegal.
But again, we have laws in the books for that. Is what I argue. Right?
Facts, yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
it's like you can actually take someone to court, or organization could get in trouble already. So what's the purpose behind cancel culture now, if not to silence the opposition? I really can't think of another reason why.
Or deeming now the new wave. Forget about cancellation. The new wave is deeming things as misinformation or disinformation.
Yeah. Well, Travis says something interesting right here. A call to action isn't protected by free speech, and that's true. But we have laws in the books for that, which is if you threaten someone, if you yell "fight," because it's a call to action, right?
Yeah,
you can't just be saying crazy stuff like "Oh, you're about to die," "Oh, you're gonna get shot," like fire in the theater, But that's more. But there's laws of that, which is called assault, threatening, call to action.
If we are censoring or canceling people, do we really have freedom of speech? No. That's a great question. It's a fundamental one. It's something that question leads to a conversation. And that's why I like conservative leaning people, because they ask those kinds of questions that lead to that kind of conversation. Those are middle ground questions. Those are questions that you can unite over,
Yep.
right? It's not a right or left or anything like that. It's literally someone saying with common sense is, how far is too far?
And this is what you're saying here, Macho. Labeling Rogan right wing is evidence that free thinking has become synonymous with the right. Like, it just seems like it. Again and
Yes,
again.
great point.
What we're
Great
not
point.
saying is that everybody in the
Wow.
right's a free thinker, right? That's one thing we're not saying, that everybody in the right. There's people in the right that we might disagree with, or that
Oh,
probably
yeah.
following talking points. We agree with that. But the power, this is the point I always make, the power in our media, in Hollywood, in our universities, and in our main influential places is more of a left focused idea. That's all we're saying. Now, for that, that means that's the ideas that need to be challenged the most, right? You want to challenge the ideas coming from the people who have power the most, but they claim this whole narrative of whatever, white supremacy, how they call you before they call me whitewash or whatever it might be, but you don't want to talk about ideas.
Or that we're not black enough to talk about minority issues in this country. It's really silly. It's patronizing too, as well. It's condescending, patronizing, and very silly. And it doesn't show. It is, as AJ the Rant Room, he always likes to say, "You're not intellectually on my same level. You're not in the same sphere as me to even have a conversation without having all your emotions lead the discussion. When you have the emotions leading the discussion, you want to cancel Joe Rogan. When you have emotions leading the discussion, you will label Trump as a racist. When you have emotions leading the discussion, you will call Reagan a racist, the Republican Party a racist, despite the fact that the Democrat Party is the party of said systemic racism. All those things that they term to or coin those phrases. And in fact, all the white allies are literally Democrats. So how, and they're the ones fundamentally causing the rifts in our country. They're causing the rifts. Why? Because they'll call other whites out, getting them all riled up and angry. And what is that? Who does that hurt? It hurts us. Because now they have when we go into a place that's predominantly white, people don't think of things logically. I'm gonna paint the picture for you guys. If you have a white suburb that's been going at it with each other over these ideologies, fighting each other, literally killing each other, because that's what's been happening. More white people have been lynched in America than any black person. I promise y'all that. So now they have this animus. So me and you move into the hood, right? Or into the suburb area, and we're dark, or our friend, somebody else who is really black, Peterson, is a mutual friend of ours. He's really black. He moves in to a neighborhood like this. They see him. What do you think they're going to think when they see him? They're going to fight over him even more. So now they're going to be people that are going to be mad. The reason why we have problems is because of people like you. It has nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with
that
them
issue,
fighting over
like
each
you're
other.
saying, Machu, that issue could arise from anything, right? And this is a good thing to bring up. It doesn't arise from race. It arrives in the beginning of time from different kind of cultural
Ideologies.
ideologies, a belief, a race, even a way someone looks. It's so many layers to this. And again, this is why I know some people don't want to have a honest conversation. What I want to play here right now is from Joe Rogan's own mouth. I think is the perfect way to see what Joe Rogan feels and says about this.
Rogan going on the offensive. Rogan is dismissing the furor over his past use of a racial slur, and he's playing the victim card.
In a lot of ways, like, all this is a relief, because it's like, just because that video had always been out there, right? It's like, this is a political hit job. And so they're taking all this stuff that I've ever said that's wrong and smushing it all together. Right. But it's good because it makes me address some that I really wish wasn't out there.
Joining us now, CNN correspondent Brian Stelter, who, of course, is also the host of Reliable Sources. What do you think of his going on the offense?
Well, almost everything these.
All right. What you think about that?
What I think about that is, I don't think he's taking the victim mentality. I think he's actually questioning the reality or the temperature in the room in the media. And when I mean the room, I mean the media. What he's actually doing is questioning at what kind of society are we actually living in? What is actually going on? That's not a victim mentality. Look at what's happening here, folks. I have this, instead of celebrating success, think of all the people that can benefit off of being on his show. If me and you go on his show right now, our ratings will skyrocket.
Yeah. He's
Right?
not only, he's
And we're
helping
minorities.
and let me break this down. He's helping our society by giving people on both sides of the platform, allowing more people to think about issues. He is literally the a modern day, the only person I see that's capable of uniting, and is a big statement. I believe the country. The only thing, because he's actually hearing both sides. He started a podcast not because of a political view. People on the left and right start because of that. He just started to talk to people about fitness, drugs, political views, headphones, hats, brands, man, just having conversation. So it's like it's beyond me, man. But that's the kind of world we live in, man.
Great point. I like that video too.
But let's take it to our last segment so Macho can take it home, sip on facts.
Let's do it. So on today's Sip on Facts, I got something from the Harvard Business Review, and the question or the thought or the phrase in this this article that I'm reading is why the news is not the truth. Why the news is not the truth by Peter Vander Wicken. You know when this was written? Excuse me. This was written in 1995. And here's a snippet of that article, and that is this. The U.S. press, like the U.S. government, is a corrupt and troubled institution. Corrupt not so much in the sense that it accepts bribes, but in a systemic sense. It fails to do what it claims to do, what it should do, and what society expects it to do. The news media and the government are intertwined in a vicious cycle of mutual manipulation, myth making, and self interest. And here's another snippet. Journalists and politicians have become ensnared in a symbolic web of lies, that misleads the public. So, simply put, on today's Sip on Facts is this. All this simply means is every single piece of information we find should be held to a high level of scrutiny, folks. Thanks for joining us today on Drinks with the Nobody, guys. We appreciate the support.
Much love.